Hey guys, HTV here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some pretty cool things to go over. New Pokemon events have been announced. We have more Nintendo Direct hints for this week. We have some new Pokemon Legends EA leak updates and also some Pokemon Generation 10 rumors to cover. A lot of things to take a look at. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, let's go over a couple of brand new Pokemon events that have been announced. We have a new Terra Raid event coming to Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. We have Nintendo Soup here tweeting out saying, Mightiest Mark, Wo Terra Raid event announced for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. So, it's just like all the other Terra Raid events. It was announced yesterday for the weekend and then for the following weekend as well. But yeah, Mightiest Mark Wo Terra Raid event announced for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. The Pokemon Company has announced the next 7-star Terra Raid event for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. The event target this time will be a Wo with a fighting Terra type and the Mightiest Mark. The first run of the event will go from the 11th of July through to the 13th of July, with a second run planned for the 18th of July to the 20th of July. Players who conquer the raid will only be able to capture this Wo once, although they can choose to keep doing the raid to receive various rewards. So yeah, from the 11th to the 13th, which is this weekend, and then from the 18th to the 20th. We then of course have the Pokemon Presents on the 22nd of July, so I don't know if they're going to announce an event on that weekend of the 20th, just simply because they might wait for the Pokemon Presents to announce something then. But either way, Wo is going to be on raids for the next couple of weekends. And then as well as that, we have this little update to go over as well for Pokemon Go. So we've got Cerebi here tweeting out saying, Cerebi update, the Pokemon Go 9th anniversary commemorative artwork has been released. And it looks like they're going to be adding Paradox Pokemon to the game, because we do have the Paradox versions of Donphans in this artwork. We've got Zygarde and stuff, so that might be some sort of event for Pokemon Legends EA. You got your Gen 9 starters, everything like that. So yeah, we might be seeing some Paradox Pokemon coming to Pokemon Go on the, well, I guess on the horizon. But either way, those are the Pokemon events that have just been announced. Coming up next, let's talk more about the potential of a Nintendo Direct happening this week. So we have Nash Weedle here, who is a pretty reliable and credible source when it comes to leaks and stuff like that. I know that English isn't their first language, so the fact that they're tweeting this out in English is also very interesting. But they've basically tweeted out saying, so this week. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a Nintendo Direct, obviously, because there's no kind of clarification on what this is. They're just saying so this week. But like I say, a load of other sources have been kind of stating that we are going to be seeing a Nintendo Direct soon. It makes sense for it to be this week because DK Bonanza's out on the 17th, which is next week, and then we have the Pokemon Presents the week after. They could do it in the final week of July, but I feel like if they do it now, it gives them an extra bit of promotion for DK Bonanza and stuff as well before that comes out next week. So yeah, it's looking hopeful that we are going to be seeing some sort of Nintendo Direct this week, if that's what Nash Weedle is on about, because we also do have this post here from Nate the Hate, basically replying to Carmen saying, did you know something about, obviously, this Nintendo Direct? And we're saying, about, from Nate the Hate, and then he says, Nintendo Direct this week. And then Nate says, it's Sunday. I haven't heard of a Direct for the coming week at this time. Maybe I'll hear different once the week starts. Did anyone ask if that's what the tweet is implying? So Nate, who of course is a very, very credible source when it comes to Nintendo stuff, is saying that they haven't heard anything about a Nintendo Direct happening this week, but at the time that they tweeted this out, it was Sunday night, so you're not really going to hear anything on a Sunday night, really. So maybe today they may have potentially heard something, but yeah, they haven't stated anything is happening. But we have Nash Weedle saying that, you know, something is happening this week. It's hopefully going to be this Nintendo Direct, but we'll have to wait and see. But like I say, there's loads of speculation and rumors about this potential Nintendo Direct. And if everything is to be believed, we could be seeing a new Animal Crossing game getting announced, which obviously would be very, very cool. Of course, Colosseum shadow dropping was another thing that I remember them talking about. And there's a couple of other things as well. But either way, Nintendo Direct, hopefully going to happen this week. Hopefully gets announced this week. It will probably get announced. Of course, if it hasn't already been announced by the time this video goes up, it's probably going to get announced either Tuesday for the Direct being on Wednesday, announcement on Wednesday for the Direct being on Thursday, or potentially an announcement being on the Thursday for the Friday. But I'd probably say the Direct is going to either be on a Wednesday or a Thursday this week. We did actually just cover a rumor saying that we were going to get one on the 10th of July, which is that Thursday this week? That is Thursday this week. So potentially that could be true, but I don't know. What are your thoughts though? Do you think we are going to see a Nintendo Direct this week? And if we do, what do you hope to see in it? And again, unlikely we're going to have any Legends EA stuff because obviously the Pokemon Presents is in a couple of weeks, but you know, we can always hope. But either way, that's the Nintendo Direct stuff. Moving on, let's talk Pokemon Mega Evolutions for Pokemon Legends ZA. So we're going back to this tweet from Riddler saying, soon this new Mega Evolution. We spoke about this in a recent video where they had this Mewtwo hooked up from, I think it was the first movie, with all these kind of wires. We have Angemon, which of course could be relating to that Ange thing. And then we also have Green kind of saying hi. And again, that could be related to a color or something like that for this Mega Evolution. But then we also have Jean here as well, posting saying, my personal guess, this one image should explain everything, I think. So this is definitely taken from the first movie. It's when the Dragonite kind of comes to Ash, Misty, and Brock and delivers this mail, which is basically inviting them to Mewtwo's island. So there's a lot that kind of can be taken out of this kind of situation. So obviously being like trapped like this could be, you know, the Nurse Joy, because she is kind of like, she's not necessarily trapped, but she's kind of getting like that mind control stuff from Mewtwo, which is why she's like sending out these messages and stuff like that. So that could be like the trapped kind of thing. I guess the Ange could be maybe Dragonite's wings. I don't really know, something like that. The green, I'm not really too sure. I don't really know what relevance that has to Dragonite. But basically, Jean here is saying, you know, their personal guess is Mega Dragonite. Mega Dragonite would be a really cool announcement for this Pokemon Presents, because it's the first ever pseudo legendary. Everybody loves Dragonite, and to see that as like the first Mega Evolution of Legends ZA, like legitimately, obviously we've seen leaks about others, but to see like the first official Mega Evolution would be really cool in a trailer. And as well as that, it's the only pseudo that hasn't had anything yet, so it needs a big kind of reveal and stuff. So fingers crossed, that'd be incredible to see. And a lot of people are thinking that potentially this early purchase bonus that we get for Pokemon Legends ZA could be a Dratini that can Mega Evolve. So if that is going to be the early purchase bonus, then they'd have to reveal Dragonite, because otherwise, why would we be getting an early purchase bonus of Dratini? It'd just be really weird. But if they reveal Mega Dragonite, and then at the end of the trailer they're like, buy the game by this date and get this Dratini, because we have had Mega Evolutions in the past. We had the Torchic that could Mega Evolve into Mega Blaziken. We had the Beldum that could Mega Evolve into Mega Metagross. So it isn't the first time they've done it. So if they do reveal Mega Dragonite, and then at the end of the trailer they can be like, buy it early and you get your Dratini that can Mega Evolve, it'll be a nice way to kind of give out that early purchase bonus and then also show off Mega Dragonite as well. So hopefully that would be, I'd absolutely love Dragonite to be revealed. I think it's definitely going to make everybody very, very happy, but we'll have to wait and see. Jan does have a couple of like inside sources as well. Again, they are saying it's their personal guess though, so I don't know if they obviously know. But yeah, Dragonite would be really cool to see. But either way, what Mega Evolution would you like to see revealed during this Pokemon Presents on the 22nd of July? Moving on, we have some things that could potentially get revealed in a Nintendo Direct if it was to air this week. We have a rumor here posted from Nintendo Soup saying Super Smash Bros., Donkey Kong, and more could be coming to Nintendo Switch Online's expansion pack. So this is very, very likely to happen with the kind of evidence that people have been posting about it. But they're saying some interesting speculation has surfaced online about potential new games that could be added to the Switch Online expansion pack's Nintendo 64 catalog. This speculation comes from analyzing a video uploaded by Nintendo about a month back, which goes over the new features added to the Nintendo Switch Online games catalog. So part of the video shows the new settings menu overlaid atop a service's Nintendo 64's game library, which features box art of available games. Although the settings menu makes the lineup look very blurry, fans believe they can discern which new games could be coming to the service by comparing the blurred background to the unblurred box arts. So far, fans believe they have uncovered Super Smash Bros., Donkey Kong 64, and Glover, and more as a potential game coming to the service. So am I going crazy, or did Nintendo just leak Donkey Kong at 64 by NSO? So this is kind of like where the evidence is coming from. So they're using this kind of blurred image as, I guess, evidence to what games are going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch Online expansion. And then I started hunting with my Discord for what games Nintendo accidentally spoiled with the May NSO update video. And this is what we have so far. Still trying to compare the box art, but this is what we have. So obviously a couple more games there. So obviously Donkey Kong, yada, yada, yada. I looked into a bit more, and other people have caught this before me, and Glover is also very clearly above Smash 64. I thought there was something else, so I cross-referenced every Nintendo 64 box, and nothing else was remotely close. And then also looks like Smash 64 is coming to NSO as well. Let's go. So as with all speculation of this nature, we caution readers to take this with a grain of salt. Aside from it being very difficult to tell for sure which box arts are visible due to the blur effect, the featured games there could just be placeholders for the video and may not be a real indication of what games will be added to the service. Stay tuned for more updates as they come. But then again, why would you use like random Nintendo 64 games as the background for the Nintendo Switch Online kind of expansion pack and then not have those games available. And as well as that, if DK Bonanza's coming out, then they might want to release DK64. They might want to release the Smash Bros game. You know, they might want to release all these. Like, the more games they put on is going to make people want to buy Nintendo Switch Online expansion pass. So it makes sense to add these like big fan favorites as well to the kind of edition. But anyway, most likely going to happen, and these could easily get revealed during a Nintendo Direct, especially if we get one this week. But yeah, hopefully we do get these, because there's pretty cool Nintendo 64 games from the ones that obviously have been kind of hinted at here. But either way, let me know your thoughts on all of this. Finishing things off for today's video as well, we have a new Generation 10 rumor to cover. This was posted on Sunday, and it's just titled Generation 10 posted by Anonymous. Straight off the bat, the names aren't great, but they were this was posted on 4chan, so obviously take it with a massive grain of salt, but they're basically calling the games Pokemon Pink and Pokemon Turquoise. Like, yeah, we've had Pokemon Red and Blue, Gold and Silver, yada yada yada, but I think for the Generation 10 games, Pink and Turquoise just do not sound like very good names. Like Pokemon Pink, it's just not really, it's not really the name you give to the 30th anniversary of Pokemon games. But anyway, they say after the leaks, the region is changed. It's not based on the Greek islands, but it's based on coastal Australia. So literally the smallest things have been leaked about this game. So Game Freak are like, nah, we're scrapping everything, change everything about the game. We were going to Greece, we're now going to Australia. I would love an Australian region, but literally minimal things about this game have been leaked. It's not enough to make them completely change everything. And as well as that, this game has been worked on for like 3 or 4 years by now. There's no way they're going to scrap all of that because of a leak last year and completely change the game. Like, they've got deadlines to hit. Like, that's just not going to happen. But either way, they say the Pokemon are a grass kangaroo. We're going to be getting a fire snake and also a water platypus as the starter Pokemon. Don't get me wrong, I would love those starter Pokemon. Whenever I see like a water platypus, it always takes me back to that kind of fake leak that we got ages ago, which that actual platypus got put into Temtem, I think, something like that. But it just looked like such a cool Pokemon, and I absolutely wish that was a starter. But yeah, I mean, since then I've always had like a soft spot for platypus kind of water Pokemon, but I don't know. I mean, this is a great starter lineup, and if we do ever get an Australian region, this would be a great starter lineup. But at the end of the day, again, I don't believe this for a second. The fact that they've started off by saying they've changed everything about the game because of a leak is just very silly. The pink legendary is going to be a pink dolphin, so very similar to, I mean, Gorbis isn't a dolphin, but obviously it kind of looks similar to a dolphin, so it'd be, I guess, a little bit like that. And then the turquoise legendary is a huge stingray. So we have a dolphin, a stingray, a fire snake, a grass kangaroo, and a water platypus. It says no sky islands, but many small islands and underwater experience. So they're basically keeping what this Greek region is going to be. Like, for Australia, you wouldn't really have a ton of, like, I mean, you wouldn't really have sky islands everywhere, but the whole idea of it being like an archipelago of islands and stuff, which really does work with Greece because of kind of the Aegean Sea or whatever it's called. It's very plausible for them to be able to do that, whereas I feel like it wouldn't work as well with Australia. But yeah, apparently no sky islands, but many small islands underwater experience. The new Pokemon are very strange with revolutionary designs. So I don't really know what revolutionary designs means. I assume they can only really design Pokemon in a certain way. So I don't think they're going to change how they design Pokemon. And then it says some new mons are going to be a Tasmanian Devil Pokemon, a Dingo Pokemon, we have a Kamala evolution, we have a Chatot evolution, we have a Lantern evolution. Lantern seemingly is always picked from the bunch. I don't know why, but whether we're talking about mega evolutions or regional forms or just simple evolutions, Lantern always is seemingly getting one from every rumor, but then when it comes to the actual game, it never gets one. We're also getting a Kecleon evolution and more. And then it says Gimmick is 2 moves in the same time. So 2 moves in the same time, I guess if you were using, like, I don't know, Flamethrower and, I don't know, Earth Power, you could maybe use those at the same time. It'd be like a ground fire move. I think that'd get very, very complicated because there's so many Pokemon that can learn so many different moves. You know, one Dark-type Pokemon can potentially learn, like, 10 other typings of moves. And so you can't really prepare for that because you just never know what kind of moveset they're going to have. But yeah, I mean, I don't believe this for a second. The way they started this rumor just completely gives a massive red flag. They're just not going to change the whole development cycle of a game because of a little leak that happened. Well, the Terra leak wasn't a little leak, but nothing has been leaked from Generation 10 is what I mean. Like, the littlest bit is just that it's an archipelago of islands, and they're not going to change the whole game because of that. It's just ridiculous. So I'm going to call this fake. Let me know your thoughts on it, though. Would you like this to be true? Again, I love the starter ideas. I love that the idea of the region based in Australia, but that could always be Gen 11. You know, I think Gen 10 is definitely going to be Greece and the surrounding islands and stuff, and that's going to be absolutely fantastic. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on that. It's going to be everything for today's video, though. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. It does really help out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we covered. Like I say, anything about this rumor, the Nintendo 64 stuff, and then also everything else we covered as well. What do you think this Pokemon Mega Evolution is going to potentially be that's revealed in this July Presents? Hopefully it's Dragonite. And then also Direct this week, yay or nay. And then also, yeah, we got the Como Terra Raid event happening this weekend as well. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, like I say, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, peace.